Welcome back to the Perfect Season Podcast. It's the Super Amazing Podcast, talks about everything, all things sports related, and absolutely nothing to do with milk and cookies. Yeah, milk and cookies. That's right. My name is Alex.
That hits different.
But Tom Brady can now incorporate that into his diet.
Exactly. Tom
the
Brady.
TB12 method.
This is officially day one of Tom Brady. Well, technically day two, Tom Brady being retired officially.
Day 2.5.
And we're going to celebrate it by playing some, well, call it day two. And we're going to celebrate that by playing some NFL Jeopardy. So I already explained the rules to both Frankie and Anthony. So just explain the rules. Similar to normal Jeopardy, there's 100 to 500. 100 is easiest. 500 is hardest. There's 2 rounds. Second round is 200 to 1,000. So 25 questions per five questions per category. 5 categories per section. 2 sections and a final Jeopardy question. We don't have buzzers. We're not that technical. So what we're going to do is just kind of honor system, say it if you know it.
What if we did in order, like you ask me the questions and I don't know it, Frankie can steal?
No.
Or vice versa.
We're just going to
That's not a competitive mindset, Anthony.
The whole thing is competitive. So, and then here's the other thing that I didn't explain to you. I'm going to read the full question. And then once the question is over, then you can ring in. Quote unquote.
Okay, good. So we don't have to embarrass ourselves like some people do on Family Feud when they don't hear the whole question. Steve Martin.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So when I'm done saying the full question or the statement or whatever is on the panel, then you can start answering. So I'll give you 5 seconds to call in. If you call in, you have call it 5 seconds-ish to answer and then go from there. So, we didn't really decide on who's going to be picking first. So, Anthony, Frankie, pick a number between 1 and 5.
Let's just do
1 and 5.
1 and 5.
Let's just do which team has the most recent draft pick, like who picks first in the draft.
I would say let's do it by which team did better this season, who advanced further in the playoffs.
You know what?
We don't talk about that.
We're going to do it based off of team merit. And with that being said, the Cincinnati Bengals did go further than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, Frankie, you have the board.
Thank you. Okay. Super Bowl's 200.
Ooh.
This Super Bowl featuring the Patriots and Rams is the lowest scoring Super Bowl in NFL history.
I got this.
Oh.
Well, I was going to say that. So.
Okay.
Just give me 200. What is Super Bowl 53? And I knew that.
We're just going to give you the 200.
It was the one before the Chiefs and the...
We're just going to give you the 200.
Chiefs and the Niners.
So now you understand what happens. We're just going to give Frankie the points there. We're just going to move on.
Yeah, because I actually was going to say that.
Okay. Frankie, you have the board again.
Super Bowl's 300.
Super Bowl's 300. Here, I'm going to move this over here just so we have some more space. 300. John Elway had his helicopter dive in this Super Bowl.
I know this one.
What is it?
What is Super Bowl 32?
I think that's right. So it is Super Bowl 32. All right, so Frankie is on the board now with 500. Frankie?
Oh, God.
All right, Super Bowl's 400.
A photo of Len Dawson smoking a cigarette at halftime was taken during this Super Bowl.
I know this one.
Frankie?
What is Super Bowl 4?
That is incorrect.
Ooh, dang.
Anthony with the steal?
I'm gonna say
you don't have to answer if you don't know it. I'm just gonna let you know.
I'm gonna take a guess with Super Bowl 8.
That is also incorrect. The answer is Super Bowl 1.
Oh, I forgot they went to that one. Dang it.
So Frankie drops down
Maybe that's
to
why they lost.
100. And well, actually they did lose. So Frankie drops down to 100.
They lost badly in that game.
Anthony's at negative 400. Frankie, you still have the board.
Let's go. Memorable moments for 100.
Memorable moments for 100. Week 14, 2018, Patriots versus Dolphins.
I know this one.
Frankie.
What is the Miami Miracle?
That is correct. Now you're back to 200. Frankie again.
Memorable moments 200.
Week 12, 2012, Patriots versus Jets.
Oh, I know this one. How do you know that?
Frankie.
What is the butt fumble?
That is correct. The butt fumble. Back up to 400 now. Frankie again.
Memorable moments 300.
Memorable moments 300. Super Bowl 42, Patriots versus Giants.
I know this one.
Frankie.
What is the helmet catch? David Tyree.
That is also correct. Frankie back up to 700. Anthony.
Kind of feeling yourself out
doing
there,
okay there?
Anthony?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, Frankie again.
Memorable moments 400.
AFC Divisional Round 1972, Raiders versus Steelers.
I know this one.
Frankie.
What is the Immaculate Reception?
That is correct. The Immaculate Reception. Frankie up to 1100. Frankie again.
Super Bowl's 500.
Super Bowl's 500. This Super Bowl is the only Super Bowl where the MVP was not a offensive or defensive player.
Oh my gosh, this is a good one.
You are out of time. Anthony, do you have?
I do not know.
All right, so you just want to let the time run out?
Well, I'll let time run out.
All right, so the correct answer was Super Bowl 31.
Oh, shoot. Desmond Howard, yes.
Desmond Howard was a kick returner. He was.
Does that mean it's my turn to ask finally?
No, it is still Frankie's turn because he was the person that issued the last correct answer. But Frankie does lose 500 points, so he's down to 600.
What memorable moments for 500?
Memorable moments for 500. Week 15, 2010, Eagles versus Giants.
I know this one.
Frankie.
What is the Miracle at the Meadowlands Part 2?
That is correct, and that was the kicker that I was trying to see was
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson.
Yes, Anthony, I remember watching that game vividly.
Frankie, back up to 1100. You still have the board.
Super Bowls for 100.
Super Bowl's 100. This Super Bowl featured the birth of the Philly Special.
I know this one.
Frankie.
What is Super Bowl 52?
Super Bowl 52 is correct. To 1200. Frankie again.
Player records 100.
Player records 100. This player holds the record for the most passing yards in a career.
I know this one.
Frankie.
What is Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Who is Tom Brady?
You don't have to say who is what is. You can just say the answer. But yes, Tom Brady is correct. 1300.
Anthony, I was waiting for you to see if you actually knew that one, given that you're a Tampa Bay fan.
I knew it. You're just running away with the board right now.
I mean, Anthony, you got to kind of catch up, man.
How am I supposed to catch up when Frankie's getting all the answers right?
Well,
you just if you say you know it and you say it before me, then you answer it.
And then you take control of the board. Were you waiting on Frankie this entire time to answer it?
Yes.
You can chime in. If you say that you
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Frankie, you still have the board.
Player records 200.
Player records 200. This player broke the record for the longest field goal to win against the Lions in 2021.
I know.
I want to say Justin Tucker.
Okay, Anthony, say it. Don't raise your hand because your hand got lost in the screen. But I did see you raise your hand, and you said Justin Tucker. And oh man, I'm hitting the button.
You know what? We'll give you that one.
Justin Tucker is correct. So now you are in negative 200, and you have control of the board.
QB draft 100.
QB draft 100. 2022 7th round, 267th overall pick. San Francisco 49ers. Seems irrelevant to me.
Brock Purdy.
You have to say that you know it, please. But yes,
I know it. Brock Purdy.
Thank you. That's answer is Brock Purdy. Anthony at negative 100. Now, Anthony, you still have the board.
QB draft 200.
QB draft 200. 2001 2nd round, 32nd overall pick. San Diego Chargers.
Ooh. I think I know this one.
Frankie.
Who is LaDainian Tomlinson?
That is incorrect. Anthony, do you want to seal?
You said second round. I want to say.
No, wait. Remember, you don't have to ring in. Are you
no.
ringing? You're going to let it ride out?
I'll let it ride out.
The answer is the one and only Who Dat Nation, Drew Brees.
I was down between those two guys.
LaDainian Tomlinson, I believe, was the 1st round pick.
And I should have gotten that because it's QB draft. Why did I think LaDainian Tomlinson?
Okay.
All right. So, Frankie, you dropped down to 1,100. Anthony, you still have the board.
QB draft 300.
1995 1st round, 3rd overall pick to the Houston Oilers.
I know this one.
Frankie.
It was Steve McNair.
Steve McNair is correct. Back up to 1,400. Frankie, you have the board.
Team nicknames 500.
Team nicknames 500. The no-name defense.
Oh shoot.
The no-name defense.
And you are out of time. The correct answer was the Miami Dolphins.
Huh. What defense was that?
The 1972 perfect season defense, the no-name defense, because they had nobody of significant names on that defense. They were therefore called the no-name defense.
Interesting.
No points given out on that one. Frankie, you still have the board.
Player records 300.
Player records 300. This player holds the record for the most consecutive starts from 1992 to 2010. Now, let me rephrase this question. The first one. It is not in that time frame. It is just ever. And I'm giving you the start of the record to the end of the record. Frankie, you said you know it. What is the answer?
Who is Brett Favre?
Brett Favre is correct. Frankie at 1,700. Frankie, you still have the board.
Team nicknames 100.
Team nicknames 100. Saxonville.
Jacksonville. I know it.
Yes, Anthony, that is correct. With Jacksonville, you were back to 100 to 0 points. You were in the positives technically.
That means you're still not eligible for Final Jeopardy.
You need at least a couple points. You need at least 100 points minimum to be eligible.
Can you flip? Can you go to the next page?
No, because we need to get through this one first.
Okay.
Anthony, you do have the board, however.
Team nicknames are 200.
The Steel Curtain.
I'm gonna say the Steelers.
That is the Pittsburgh Steelers is correct.
Okay.
Just make sure that you answer with saying that you know it or that you know this one, similar to what Frankie's been doing. But yes, that is correct. And Anthony, you still have the board.
I'm gonna go team nicknames for 400.
The greatest show on turf.
I know this one.
Frankie.
What is the St. Louis Rams?
St. Louis Rams is correct. If you would have said the Los Angeles Rams, you would have been incorrect. 2,100 for Frankie. Frankie, you have the board.
Player records 400.
Player record for 400. This player owns the record for the most interceptions in a single season.
I might know it.
Okay, Anthony.
I want to say Jameis Winston.
Okay, interceptions from a defensive standpoint.
Oh.
That's what I'll let you. I won't take away that. I won't take away that because I wasn't clear with that one.
Which era?
Any era. So
can I still steal and get the points?
Nobody has effectively rang in yet because I wasn't clarified. So if you know it, you can say that you know it.
Oh, I know this one.
Frankie.
Who is Trayvon Diggs?
That is incorrect.
Ooh, dang.
Anthony.
Who is Richard Sherman?
That is also incorrect. A man before the NFL was even the NFL. That is the one and only Night Train Lane.
Dick Night Train Lane. How about that?
Both of you going down by 400 points.
So I'm back in the negatives.
And Anthony, I don't even have to change your score. All I had to do is just put a little negative right there. Frankie, you have the board, I believe.
Let's go with team nicknames 300.
Team nicknames 300. The Purple People Eaters.
I know this one.
I know it.
I'm going to give it to Anthony. He got it in barely.
Whatever.
Minnesota
Vikings is correct.
Nice.
Back up to 100 points and in the final. Anthony, your board.
QB draft 400.
QB draft 400. 1964, 10th round, 129th overall pick to the Dallas Cowboys.
I know this one.
Frankie.
Who was Cincinnati native Roger Staubach?
Roger Staubach is correct. Back up to 2,100. Frankie, your board. Two possibilities left.
QB draft 500.
1971, 4th round, 99th overall pick to the Miami Dolphins.
I know this one.
I know it.
Frankie.
It was Bob Greasy.
That is incorrect.
Oh, dang.
Anthony? Do you know it?
The name, I'm going to say who is Dan Marino?
That is also incorrect. A man that you never in a million years would have thought was drafted by Miami, the one and only Mr. Broken Leg himself, Joe Theismann.
Really?
Joe Theismann was drafted by the Dolphins, and there was an issue with his contract to which he did not sign, and he went immediately into the Canadian Football League with the Argonauts. And then he went on to the Washington team.
How about that?
Crazy, right? All right, and the final one for 500 player records. This player holds the record for the most passing yards in a game.
I know this one.
Quarterback?
Frankie.
It was Norm Van Brocklin.
Norm Van Brocklin, the quarterback, is correct. Frankie, back up to 20.
I'm terrible.
All right, gentlemen, that is the end of the first round of Jeopardy. The score is Frankie with 2,100, Anthony with negative 400. Now, just going to do a little switcheroo over here. The following categories is this year active players is college. Name that team, multi-team running backs and coaches. And in the sport of the actual game of Jeopardy, the person with the lowest score picks first. So, Anthony, you have the board.
Name that team for 200.
Name that team for 200. Kayvon Thibodeau. For Anthony.
New York Giants.
New York Giants is right. And you know what? I just realized that they did not update the score. So with that correct, Anthony moves on to negative 200. Frankie keeps us 2,100. Yes, Kayvon Thibodeau with the New York Giants is correct. Anthony, your board.
Active players college for 200.
Aaron Rodgers.
I know this one.
Frankie.
What is Cal?
Cal is
I
correct.
forgot about that.
Frankie, you're bored.
Coaches for 600.
Coaches for 600. This head coach has the record for the most wins, which is set at 347.
I know this one.
Frankie.
It was Don Shula.
Don Shula is correct. Frankie up to 2,900. Frankie, you still have the board.
This year for 600.
This year for 600. This player led the league in sacks at 17.
I know this one.
Frankie.
Who is Nick Bosa?
Nick Bosa is correct. 3,500 to Frankie. Continue.
This year for 800.
This year for 800. This player led the league in kick return touchdowns with 2, both of which happened in the same game.
I know it.
Anthony.
Who is Tony Pollard?
That is incorrect.
I know it.
Frankie.
It was Naeem Hines.
Naeem Hines is correct. Frankie moves up to 4,300. Anthony, negative 1,000. Frankie, still the board.
Active Players College 600.
Active Players College 600. Grady Jarrett.
I know
this.
Anthony.
Grady Jarrett went to Clemson.
Clemson is correct. All right, sir. Negative 400. Anthony, you have the board.
Name that team for 400.
Name that team for 400. Nick Westbrook Akine.
Oh, I know this one.
Frankie.
The Tennessee. Who are the Tennessee Titans?
Tennessee Titans are correct. You have the board.
Multi-team running backs for 600.
All right. So with this one, it's going to be I give you every single team and the years that running back was on the team. You have to tell me who it is.
All right.
So
All right.
2013 to
Oh, God.
2016 with the Vikings, 2017 with the Raiders, 2018 with the Patriots, 2019 through the 20s with the Bears, 2021 to the 2022 with the Falcons. And that is time. The correct answer was Daryl Patterson.
Oh yeah.
I forgot he got drafted by the
He's
Vikings.
underrated.
He's also a Clemson. He is also a Clemson alum.
Mm. Frankie, you still have the board.
Multi-team running backs 800.
2013 to 2017 with the Bengals, 2017 to 2020 with the Patriots, 21 to 22 with the Texans.
I know this one.
Frankie.
Who is Rex Burkhead?
Rex Burkhead is correct. Moving
I
up
got that
to
one.
5,500. Frankie, you still have the board.
Name that team for 1,000.
Name that team for 1,000. Foster Sarrell.
Oh, Jesus.
Anthony?
I'm gonna take a guess.
Okay.
Oh,
You did
gosh.
effectively
You lose
bring in-
you lose 1,000 if you miss this.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
you have to say just throw out a random team. 'Cause
Why do I feel like he's? I
you gotta say it.
feel like he's a Texan.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, but I know it's wrong.
That is incorrect. Frankie, would you like to steal?
I would not.
All right. The correct answer was the Los Angeles Chargers. He's an offensive lineman.
You know what? I think I knew that.
Frankie, still your board.
Name that team for 800.
Name that team, 800. Deion Jones.
I know this one.
Frankie.
Who are the Cleveland Browns?
Cleveland Browns are correct. Moving on up to 6,300.
Oh, jeez.
Frankie.
Active Players College for 1,000.
Active Players College for 1,000. Kaimi Fairbairn.
Oh, jeez. I'm not even going to try and guess this one.
I don't even know who that is.
He's the Texans kicker.
He is the Texans kicker. Time has ran out. Does anybody want to take a guess? You're not gonna lose points.
I want to say Alabama.
Okay. Frankie, you want to just take a stab at it? You won't lose points.
Me?
Yeah.
I'll say UTEP. I don't know why.
UTEP was closer, but still very far away. Pac-12 school, UCLA.
That was my next guess, actually.
Frankie, you still have the board.
This year for 200.
This year for 200. This player led the league in receiving yards at 1809.
I know
this one.
I know it.
I'm going to say Anthony by a hair.
I want to say who is Stephon Diggs.
That is incorrect.
I'm going to try this one.
Frankie.
Who is Justin Jefferson?
Justin Jefferson is correct.
That was my next guess.
Ironically, that's who the Vikings got in the draft pick that they were sent to by Buffalo in the trade for Stephon Diggs.
Exactly. So Frankie moves up to 65. Anthony moves down to -16. Frankie, you still have the board.
Coaches for 1,000.
Coaches for 1,000. This head coach holds the record for the most consecutive Super Bowl losses, set at 4. Anthony.
I don't know the name, but I know the team.
It's the name of the coach. I'm not asking for
Anthony.
the team.
I know the team.
Well, what's the team?
I want to say the Bills.
Okay. Do you even know who the coach is?
I don't know who the coach name is, but I know it's the Bills.
Okay. Frankie, do you know who the coach is?
Who is Marv Levy?
Marv Levy is correct. I'm not going to take away points for Anthony just because he said the team, and I'd feel bad taking away
Give me
points.
some points.
I'm going to keep you at -1,600. Or you know what, Frankie? Would you like to donate to Anthony your 1,000 points?
You know what? I'll donate. I'll donate 3,000 to Anthony.
Okay.
Give him 1,400. Put me at 3,500.
Well, the thing is that you also technically got it correct, so you'd be at 4,500.
Oh, even better. Well, Anthony's at positive now because I gave him 3,000.
Wait, how? Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't take away the negative. I was like, wait, Anthony wasn't that far.
All right. Yeah, you're welcome.
Frankie,
You're welcome.
Still your board.
Active Players College 800.
Active Players College 800. Xavier Howard.
I have no idea.
Anthony, did you ring in or did you take that back?
I want to take a stab, but I'm not going to get the points for it.
Well, I'm waiting for time to run out. Time has effectively run out. Anthony, what would you have said?
I would have said Pitt for some reason.
Well, that wasn't the correct answer.
And Frankie's frozen.
It's Baylor. Frankie's not frozen.
Never mind.
He just chose not to say
I would
anything.
never have guessed Baylor.
All right,
Me
Frankie,
too.
still your board.
This year for 400.
This year for 400, this player led the league in rushing yards at 1,653. Time has run out. The correct answer is, Anthony, I'm disappointed you didn't get this. Josh Jacobs.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no one knows that because the Raiders were terrible.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah,
also. Did you also know that Devontae Adams had the third highest in receiving yards?
I can see that because he had some monster games.
He had
It's a shame.
1,500.
It's a shame the Raiders never really.
Highlighted it. Yeah, Frankie, still your board.
Players College 400.
All right, J.K. Dobbins.
I know this one.
Frankie.
What is, I guess I have to say, the Ohio State University?
That is correct. And actually, I don't even know. I put only Ohio State, but
Well, okay. I'm not gonna hold you to that.
but yes, that is correct. The Ohio State is correct. Frankie, still
What do
your
we
board.
have? What else do we still have? Coaches 800.
Coaches 800. This Super Bowl 20 head coach was inducted into the Hall of Fame, not as a coach, but as a player.
I know this one.
Frankie.
It was Iron Mike Ditka.
Mike Ditka is correct.
Legend, boys.
Frankie moving up to 5,700. Frankie, still your board.
This year for 1,000.
This year for 1,000. This player had the longest punt this year at 83 yards.
Oh, jeez.
Who are good punters?
So somebody had an 83-yard punt.
Was it a rookie?
Oh, I know this one.
Frankie.
It was Tommy Townsend.
That is incorrect. Tommy Townsend had the second longest punt.
Oh, well.
If I guess and I'm wrong, I get points off, right?
Yes.
How many points would I get off if I get
You
it
lose
wrong?
1,000.
So I'd be at 400.
You know what? Donate 1,000. Donate 2,000 to Anthony.
Okay.
Let this be a
I
no
want
brainer.
to say Jake Camardo.
Don't say anything.
Well, don't say anything because I'm counting that as wrong. But Jake Camarda is incorrect. It is Ryan Anger.
Oh,
Cowboys. So
What
Frankie
game was
drops.
that?
I don't remember what game, but it was.
I don't think it was against the Bengals.
I want to say it was. Okay, so Anthony drops down to 400, and then Frankie's generous donation drops him down to 2,700, and Anthony to 2,400. Frankie, you still have the board in a 300-point lead.
Multi-team running backs 200.
07-10 with the Bills. 10-15 with the Seahawks. Raiders 17-18. Seahawks with 19.
I know this one.
Frankie.
It was Marshawn Beast Mode Lynch.
Beast mode is correct.
I forgot he was a Bill.
2,900. Frankie, your board.
Multi-team running backs 400.
Vikings 07-16. Saints, can't really see that very well. 17. Cardinals to 17. Washington for 18-19. Lions to 20. The Titans with 21. The Seahawks with 21.
I know it.
I'm sorry, Anthony.
I want to say, who's Adrian Peterson?
Adrian Peterson is correct. Anthony going up to 800, right on Frankie's tail. Anthony, it is your board.
Name that team for 600.
Name that team for 600. Ben Skoranek.
I know this one.
Frankie.
Who is the LA Rams?
The LA Rams
Who
is
are,
correct.
I should say.
Who are?
Frankie, it's your board.
Multi-team running backs for 1,000.
Dolphins from 15-17. Eagles from 17-19.
I know this one.
Frankie.
Who is Jay Ajayi?
Jay Ajayi is correct.
Traded to
4,500.
the Eagles in their Super Bowl season. Coaches for
Yes.
400.
Coaches for 400.
I forgot about that.
This head coach won Super Bowls 1 and 2.
Oh, I know this one.
Frankie.
It was Vince Lombardi.
Vince Lombardi is correct. Frankie moving up to 4,900. And Frankie, well, there's only one left. Coaches for 200. This head coach has the most Super Bowl appearances
I know it.
at 9. Anthony.
Who's Bill Belichick?
Bill Belichick is correct. All right. So heading into Final Jeopardy, we have Anthony and Frankie at 3,000. I'm sorry, Anthony's at 3,000. Frankie's for 4,900. Now, gentlemen, this is how Final Jeopardy is going to work. You both have now effectively qualified for Final Jeopardy. It is still anybody's game. I'm going to give you one question. You have 30 seconds. And what I'm going to do is I would like if you guys have like a piece of like pen and paper nearby by chance?
Actually, yes, I do.
Okay, please get out a pen and paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to
I have a sticky note.
that works just as fine. I can't see
Generously, the break room up here has that.
now. I cannot see anything in your background. I'm just going to go on the honor system. Please do not look up the answer. Your time will start after I finish the question. Okay.
Good God.
This active player has played on the most teams in the NFL at 14, and 30 seconds starts now.
I know.
And also, please include the point amount that you would like to bet. You can bet your max. You can bet nothing, however many you want. And
You said we can bet nothing?
you could bet nothing if you wanted to, but Anthony, you probably would want to bet at least enough that you beat Frankie. 5 seconds left. All right. That's
Typical NPC alarm.
horrible. All right,
Hate
Anthony,
that one.
you had the lowest amount. What was your answer?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect. The answer was the person it was an active player. Active as it means still playing in the league right now. So, Anthony, how many points did you bet?
400.
4. Really, that's it? All right, so Anthony goes down to 2,600. Frankie, what was your answer?
Who is Josh Johnson?
Josh Johnson is
That's
correct.
who it was.
And how many points did you bet?
I bet the max.
You bet 4,900?
Yep.
All right, so here we have it. The final score, Frankie with 9,800, Anthony with 2,600. Yes, Josh Johnson has the most NFL. He's been on the most NFL teams at 14. He started with San Francisco, and he is currently still on San Francisco. Started in 05. And
You want something funny? Remember, I was like 6 years old, and I remember Josh Johnson was a buck.
Yeah, he was a buck.
I'm
I
old
was
enough to
trading
remember
for
I'm old enough to remember when Josh Johnson was a Bengal.
Mhm. Well, you mean he was on 14
How many
so
teams has Fitzpatrick been on?
Fitzpatrick only played on 8 or 9. I believe 9, but still, that's
And he retired, so
and he is effectively
excuse me.
retired.
That was the one name that came to my mind. I forgot about Josh Johnson.
And you know what's funny is when he played on Sunday for San Francisco, when he came in for Brock Purdy, I got upset because he was the Final Jeopardy answer, and I thought that would have been very easy to guess, but I kept it, and I wish I changed it. But yes, that is the end of the Perfect Season Podcast first NFL Jeopardy. Frankie is now the reigning champion at 9,800. He will have the current record for the highest single day score. And you are also the champion, so future episodes are going to have to include you now. until you lose. But with how you played today, you probably wouldn't. Because I would also like to mention, Frankie, you did donate like 5,000 points.
Yeah.
So technically, your score is
my score should be like 13,000.
About
14,000.
About 14,800 right now would have been your effective score, but because you did donate, the record is.
No, I just forgot. I forgot how Jeopardy worked at the first. I thought it was
you forgot your history.
You
you forgot your history, Anthony.
But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching.
You forgot that the NFL is about history. I know the Bucs don't have a lot of it, but
ooh.
Just like the Bengals don't have that many Super Bowl wins.
Be quiet.
Well, maybe next Jeopardy we're gonna have to include an entire section that's just Tampa Bay Bucs trivia.
I'll probably still win.
Or we can get different categories that don't date back to like the first Super Bowl.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. In the future, we'll probably the hope is to have 3 people. So if you would like to be in the next NFL Jeopardy, please let us know in the comments. We'll be more than happy to try and get you in. See if you can beat Frankie's score. Yes, Anthony.
I will also be next week or this week whenever I get a chance. First, way too early mock draft.
Okay. Getting our mock drafts out somewhat soon. Well, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we will see y'all soon.